4 pages. And then when somebody asks you, what did you read? I don't know, something or the other. Why don't you read and see? Right? Because nothing goes in your mind. So not only it should reach you and me, the right audience, but we should come to live it and imbibe by it. So what does he say here? He says, Vasudevendra. Vasudeva. Vasudeva means, Vas means to dwell. Deva means light. So that light of consciousness which dwells in all of us, that is Vasudeva. Indra means the one who rules. Many of us think Indra is the name of some devata. Indra is actually position. Indra represents that who rules, by which everything falls into place. Because of Bhagavan's rule, it said, Bayad Asya Agnis Tapati. Because of Bhagavan's rule, what happens is, everything keeps its dharma, isn't it? Fire keeps its dharma. The sun continues to shine. The sun doesn't say, hey, tomorrow I'm taking a day off. I just don't feel like coming to work. No, a sun stays in its dharma. Moon stays in its dharma. Water stays in its dharma. Water never says, okay, let me stop being wet. Let me stop wetting things. Fire never says, let me stop heating things. Imagine if all these inanimate objects started saying, I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to stop doing that. What would happen? Right? So Indra means that ruler who keeps everyone's dharma in place. Vasudevendra. Yogindram means the king of yogis. Now whenever we think of yogi or yoga, what do we think of? Some asana, isn't it? Stretching up really like this and Surya Namaskara, etc. Yoga comes from the root word yuj, which means to unite. So anything that unites me to the higher is called yoga. So king of yoga means the king of anything that makes me come to my higher self. All of us have our lower self and higher self, huh? We have a self in us that says, okay, sit straight, listen, keep your eyes open. Then we have a lower self, I'm so tired, I don't know what to do. Isn't it? We have higher self and we have lower self. Higher self, yes, I should sleep late at night. I should sleep early at night. Higher self. Lower self, let me just one more episode. I want to see what's happening. I cannot wait until tomorrow. I need to watch it. Huh? Yogindra means Bhagavan is that which always yokes himself to the higher and keeps everybody high. So how do you know if Bhagavan is in your heart, dwelling in your heart? He's keeping everything high. He's keeping you yoked to your higher self. This is Yogindra. Jnanapradam Guru. That Bhagavan who is Vasudeva, that Bhagavan who is that which illumines everybody, the light which illumines everybody, the one who is Indra, the one who rules over everybody, the one who inspires everybody to always yoke themselves with the higher, that Bhagavan is also my Guru. Jnanapradam Guru. That Bhagavan is also the one who gives me knowledge. Now many people have this question, how did Bhagavan become Guru? What is this relationship between God and Guru? I don't get it. How did God become Guru? And Kabir Das Ji says so beautifully, he says, if I come across my Guru and my God, I will bow down to my Guru first, because my Guru has introduced me to God. So some people always say, what is this? So we have to understand the connection between God and Guru. You see, Bhagavan comes in different avatars. Everybody's heard of this because there was a movie, Avatar, right? That's how we all know. Avatar. He comes in various avatars. But what does avatar mean? Avatar doesn't mean coming down, like he comes down some parachute or something like that. Avatar means that the God that you and I believe in, that formless God, takes a form. That formless God becomes manifest. And that is known as avatar. Manifest means that formless God takes a form, so is now I'm able to perceive that God through my senses and through my mind and through my intellect. I'm able to actually perceive that God. I'm actually able to see that God. Because that God has taken an avatar. Now there are various avatars of God. One is known as a Purna Avatara. Purna Avatara, when God manifests himself completely in his entire splendor. Purna means complete. So either Bhagavan manifests himself as Rama or Krishna. This is Purna Avatar. Means you can see Bhagavan's whole Leela, his entire glory going on in Purna Avatar. What did Krishna not do? What did Rama not do? Right? In Trinidad, Swami Abhedananda said, don't think Bhagavan Krishna only played the flute. He did so much more than that. Huh? He had a Purna Avatar. He did so many things. And his life was so troublesome. The minute for him, the minute he was born in jail. And then he had to fight so many asuras here and there. And then after that, now he had to give the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And then the whole Dwaraka, where he was living, sunk down. What about Lord Rama's life? That also is something else. We think we have problems, gods had problems. They had bigger problems than us. Right? So Purna Avatar is when Bhagavan manifests in this way to show us that your problem is not as big as their problem. And if they lasted, you can definitely last. Right? Purna Avatar. Then we have something called Amsha Avatar. Amsha Avatar means only a spectrum of their manifestation is shown. Because that much is needed. So like what Matsya Avatar, only that fish Matsya is needed for that occasion and then enough. Varaha Avatar, only that boar is needed and then enough. Right? Only that aspect of me is needed and that's enough, I come back. So that is Amsha Avatar. Kurma, Varaha, etc. Narasimha is different now, I'll tell you. So they are that Amsha Avatar. Then what they have is also Avesha Avatara. This is Narasimha. Avesha Avatara means suddenly Bhagavan will take an avatara. Why? Because his bhakta, his devotee is calling, longing for him. And it's unplanned, huh? And he just says, I'm coming, that's it. This is what happened with Prahlada. Right? Everybody knows the story of Prahlada, but no matter how many times we hear it, we love to hear it, isn't it? So Prahlada just kept on saying Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And Hiranyakashipu said, is your Bhagavan here in this pillar? And Prahlad said, yeah, my Bhagavan is here. Meanwhile, Bhagavan was up and he was saying, he was just waiting for Prahlad to point out where should he come. The minute he said, Hiranyakashipu said, is your Bhagavan here? And Prahlad said, yes, he's here. What happened? Narasimha Avatar came out, tore that pillar apart, and even tore Hiranyakashipu apart on his lap. Avesha Avatar. Bhagavan just comes like that. Now don't think that Bhagavan, Narasimha Avatar is only Bhagavan's Avesha Avatar. Huh? Also when you and I are in trouble, somebody all of a sudden comes to help. Isn't it? We have a flat tire or we have no food one day or something happened to us, we're stuck somewhere and somebody comes to help us. What is that? That's Bhagavan's Avesha Avatar also. He or she doesn't have to look like Narasimha, okay? That's still Bhagavan. Huh? Now, next avatar of Bhagavan is Nitya Avatar. Because Bhagavan said, I want to always be there. Nitya means always. So how does Bhagavan come manifest? In the form of saints and sages. Because in the form of saints and sages, you feel Bhagavan's presence, isn't it? You're just around them and you feel so light, like something magical is happening. You know, they're not doing anything magical, but you feel so light, you feel so calm, at ease, at peace. Because Bhagavan's so alive in them, expressing fully in them. This is called Nitya Avatar. Then Bhagavan says there's one more avatar that I take. And it's called Mad Anugraha Avatar. Which means to bless you, to grace you, I take an avatar. Just customized for you, I will come. And I will lead you home. Because your home is home. I will lead you there. Who is that avatara? That is Guru. When Bhagavan manifests as that teacher who just comes customized for you, for your needs, to bring you to your higher self, that is Guru. That's Bhagavan himself. So when we look at Puja Gurudev, that's God himself. When we look at Puja Guruji, that's God himself. That's why in Vedanta, Guru is God. God is Guru. That's why we say Jnana Pradam Guru. So, bowing down to this God who's Vasudevendra, Yogendra, Jnana Pradam Guru. Tattva. Tattva means I bow down to that. Which means what? See, in our tradition, we have what is called a parampara. There's no sense of individuality. If anybody speaks, they're only speaking because of the Guru Parampara, because they know the whole Guru Parampara is expressing through them. It's not that there's anything such as my knowledge. I studied it, so it's mine. I learned it, so it's mine. I'm sharing it, so it's me. There's no sense of that. Tattva means I bow down to you because nothing of this is mine actually. Every single thing that I've learned, every single thing that I've come to experience is because of only you. And hence I bow down to you. So that indicates humility. That we know that there's something greater, someone greater who is coming through us. Only in humility will there ever be knowledge. True knowledge can never happen in pride. When one is proud of their accomplishments, proud of what they did, that is not knowledge. Pride and knowledge can never be on the same spectrum. So Tattva means an expression of that humility. So he says, I bow down to this Bhagavan, and who am I writing this for? Who am I expounding this for? Mumukshuna. Mumukshu here means a person who has the burning desire for this liberation. Means now we did some examination, some pariksha, that the joy that we're seeking is not in the object, it's in the subject. Mumukshu means I have desire then to find that joy. Give me that joy because that's what I want. Somebody who has an earnest desire. Because why? Otherwise nobody will pick up the book, right? There has to be a reason why you're going to pick this up. There has to be a reason why he's written this. It is for those particular people who burn, who yearn for that. And he writes it for them. Now some of you might say to me, I don't have that. I'm not a mumukshu. I don't have that burning desire. So my response to that is wait. Because by the time we finish this, you will burn for it. I'm so sure. Because Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya Ji, the way he writes, and the way Puja Guruji comments, there's no one who wouldn't. So be patient. It will come. Hitarthaya means for the benefit of those mumukshus. Tattva Bodha Vidhiyate. This book, Tattva Bodha Abhidhiyate, is expounded by me. Again, our rishis never used active voice. If you study the Sanskrit language, a lot of them, they'll always use passive voice because they believe knowledge doesn't flow by them, it flows through them. They're just an instrument to make this happen. With this, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya opens up Tattva Bodha. This is Mangalacharana. So you see how they've started any text. Now see how we start anything. how does it compare, isn't it? If we start something with this mindset, don't you think what we write, what we read, what we do will be nothing but the best? That's how they started. So Vasudevendra Yogindram Nattva Jnana Pradam Guru Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattva Bodho Vidhiyate. Now, what's beautiful about the invocation is not only does it invoke that divinity, that higher power, the grace of Bhagavan. Not only does it invoke that, but it also specifies the purpose of the book. See, our rishis were very scientific. In the invocation shloka itself, they tell you every single thing about the book. What is that? We have something called Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anu means after, paschat. Bandha means that which ties you. Chatushtaya means fourfold. The fourfold things that tie you to the text is called Anubandha Chatushtaya. So, what is this fourfold thing? See, first they say there are four things. Before you get into anything into your life, you should know these four things. Now, this is not just studying the book. This is a very practical application. Before you engage in anything, you know these four things. Number one, adhikari. Adhikari means student. You should know who the qualified student is. When you're applying for any job, you have to know the qualifications, whether you fit it or not, isn't it? So, adhikari is the student. Then, vishaya means the subject matter. So again, if I'm applying to any job, I should know what's the subject matter of the job, isn't it? What is it matching to what I do, right? Is it engineering, or is it math, or is it music? What is this job? What is the vishaya, or the subject matter of it? Then, prayojana. Prayojana means goal. So, if I am applying to this job, I'm qualified, applying to this job in this field, what am I going to get from it? Right? That's the language we always speak. What's in it for me? What are you going to give me? What's the goal of it? So, okay, you're going to make 60,000, a year, or I don't know how much everybody makes, I don't know. But 100,000, etc. They'll say, this is the prayojana. You will make this much. And you will get these many benefits, right? Health benefit, this benefit. And then you'll get 3 weeks paid vacation. Something like that they'll say. So that's prayojana. You want to do it. Then fourth is sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. Means if the relation between what? If I get this job, then I will get to this goal. So the relationship has to be clear. So if I want to engage in anything in my life, these four factors should be there. Not in any field. Where do I go to eat? Adhikari. Am I veg or non-veg? Then you decide, right? Vishaya, subject matter. What kind of food? Should it be North Indian, South Indian? If North Indian restaurant, South Indian. What's the prayojana? I'm eating, am I eating to enjoy, or am I eating to be healthy? It's very different now. What you order in the menu will make a big difference, isn't it? Right? And the sambandha, the relationship. That if I am ordering this food, then I should get this goal. If I am ordering rava dosa, masala dosa, then I should get full by that. So anything in life, you see, has this anubandha chatushtaya. And you also know that if you get along with a person, why? You have the same anubandha chatushtaya. Both of you are spiritual, you'll get along. Both of you are spiritual, and both of you come to the temple, but one's prayojana is for food, one's prayojana is for prayer. Then you will split right there. Isn't it? Because some people, they may both be spiritual, but spiritual in a different way, right? Some is spiritual for langar purpose, some spiritual for prayer purpose, right? So anything in life is Anubandha Chatushtaya will work. So you see your friends and you see where you're matching and where you're not matching. And wherever you're not matching, then you understand why. It's just different Anubandha Chatushtaya. So what is the Anubandha Chatushtaya for this text? So the adhikari or the student is mumukshu. And mumukshu I already told you, all of us, hopefully all of us, who have this desire to learn more, to seek that joy which is already in us. That is the adhikari. What is the vishaya or subject matter? Tattva Bodha. We're going to study together, engage in Tattva Bodha. And then, what is the prayojana? Prayojana is hopefully moksha. Hopefully I will get that joy. If I am a mumukshu and if I am studying this text, then the goal is because I want that joy. I want to be able to live that joy. Otherwise I will not pick up this book. And what is the sambandha? Means that this relationship is by studying this book, I will get to learn about the subject which is of the nature of joy. And I will come to live that and see that alive in my life. So, all of these things are also found in the Mangalacharana. Mumukshunam gives you the adhikari, Tattva Bodha, Vishaya. Mumukshunam hitarthaya means for the benefit of the mumukshus. For moksha gives you the prayojana. And Tattva Bodho vidhiyate, etc. That line will give you the sambandha. So everything is spelled out. So you see how beautiful, how scientific our culture is. So many times people will tell us, oh, your culture, you just do all these things and there's no reason for it, and all on and on and on. But the thing is, we're not exploring deep enough. If we look deep enough, everything is right there and presented in such a beautiful, magnanimous way. Now that we've come and we've done the Mangalacharanam, how does Tattva Bodha start? How does it open up? What's the opening drama? What's the curtain call? That we will see after a little break. We will have now, we're going to divide this series up in this manner, wherein I will speak for some time, and then we have discussions, and then of course you have a snack break, so you can ease into everything. Then again I will have a discourse and then discussion, so that there's a healthy balance of getting it and absorbing it. I have written down 4 or 5 questions, which I will give to you. We'll divide everybody in groups. And I want you to discuss on these questions so that if there's anything that requires clarity, you can help each other out. And then we will regroup and then I will answer them. Right? Then after that, we take a break and then we come into the opening curtains of Tattva Bodha. Okay? So write these questions down. And I want you to ponder over them. Number 1. All desires are the desire to seek joy. Explain this statement. So no matter what desire I have, whether it's getting a bigger house, making more money, getting my children married, getting my children settled, all desires eventually are the desire to seek joy. Explain that statement. Number 2, happiness is not something to be gained from outside. State reasons why. Number 3, what is the goal of Mangala Charana or invocation? Why should we have an invocation? Number 4, what is the relationship between God and Guru? And number 5, what is Anubandha Chatushtaya? So, how many of you are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so you're about 24 people, so why don't we have 4 groups, right? So, will you form those on your own? But make sure there's enough male-female balance. And, try to separate from, don't stay with your friends or your spouse. Explore other people as well, right? So form 4 groups and discuss these questions.